Imagine waking up to panoramic Las Vegas Strip views every single morning. Panorama Towers offers just that, but like any other living situation, there are benefits and challenges. As I walk you through them, let me know which ones are deal breakers and which ones aren't that big of a deal. Let me know in the comments below. Benefit number 1, unmatched views. One of the biggest benefits of living in Panorama Towers is that you are across from the Las Vegas Strip. Well, many people say to me, Courtney, I don't want to be across from Las Vegas Strip. I want to be able to just go down my elevator and walk to Park MGM or Aria or grab a cocktail. Panorama Towers has some unique benefits, which I'm going to get to in a second. One of the biggest benefits of living in Panorama Towers is you get unmatched Las Vegas Strip views. One thing I always tell my clients is that you get the views when you're not on the Strip. See, when you're on the Strip, you're only going to get that view where you're facing. For instance, Waldorf Astoria, you can get that postcard picture Las Vegas view, but you're right there. It's not that same type of view of being away and up. So one thing I always like to point out to people is while you may want to be on the Strip, being off the Strip just a little bit is going to have tons of benefits. You're going to be able to see the gorgeous views, and you're not going to be in the traffic and all the craziness and madness that the Las Vegas Strip has on the weekends or during big events. One thing to note when you're looking at unit numbers, if it ends in an odd number, it has a Strip view. So it's going to be on the side of the building that most likely has a Strip view. While if it ends in an even number, it's going to have the gorgeous Red Rock Mountain views. Now, people ask me, which view is better? Which is the better one for resale? Well, many people love the Las Vegas Strip view because it's like our ocean and the lights are just so pretty. You can just see so many actions, things going on, entertainment. It's just such a vibe. Having those peaceful mountains is an amazing view too. Well, those units don't go for as high of a premium. A lot of people move on the side of the Strip and then they quickly move to the other side just so they don't get woken up by those bright lights every single morning. If you're someone that wants both views, being on an end cap, something that ends in 00 or 12, is gonna have those end cap, both Strip and mountain views. So you get the best of both worlds. Benefit number 2, luxury amenities. One of my favorite amenities of Panorama Towers is the limo service. Not a lot of buildings offer limo service, and this is one unique amenity that Panorama offers 7 days a week. This limo service is complimentary and can take you to the Las Vegas Strip. And like I said, you're across from the Las Vegas Strip. We'll get into location shortly. But just going over the bridge, you're right in the heart of City Center, which is the heart of the Las Vegas Strip. You can also take the limo to the airport, which is huge savings for those of you who go to the airport often and you're traveling a lot. So this is definitely something to note when you're looking at HOA fees and you're saying to yourself, wow, they're so high. Think of all the amenities that come with that HOA fee. Some other amenities include 24/7 guard gated security, a parking garage, valet, a 5,000 square foot fitness facility, his and her spa facilities with a yoga and Pilates area, a resort style pool and jacuzzi as well as cabanas, and 2 unique amenities that not a lot of other buildings have is a large indoor racquetball court and a movie theater. Benefit number 3, prime location. Just west of the I-15, you have Panorama Towers, which is also located on Dean Martin. What I love about this location is that you have a bridge directly to City Center. This bridge is off Harmon Avenue. City Center has a ton of stuff to do. You have T-Mobile Arena, which hosts our Vegas Golden Knights, concerts, fights, tons of shows and entertainment. You also have Crystals, which has stores like Chanel and Dior and has top-of-the-line designer shopping. It's so much fun to go there. There's also my favorite restaurant, Toco Madera, there's Mastro's, but what a lot of people don't realize is you have the Aria Express. The Aria Express is complimentary and takes you to Bellagio, Aria, Park MGM, and it's just a really nice way to get to the different casinos. And once you get to that entrance, you can pretty much go to the Bellagio super easy. You have access to all these places and all you have to do is get on the tram. This is complimentary to ride from 8 a.m. to 2 a.m. So again, it's super easy. Hop on and you can go to all these different casinos within seconds. Fun fact, Panorama Towers cost over $600 million to build in 2006. Drop a thumbs up if you knew this already. Benefit number 4, security. If you're someone who's into security, you will probably like the way Panorama Towers is set up. To enter the building, you have to go to a guard gate. So there is someone manning the guard gate there, and they check your ID and they make sure that the guest or whomever is coming is supposed to be there. So if your name is not on that list, then they have to call the resident, then it has to be approved. And then once you go through there, then you stop at valet. So all guests have to park at valet. They cannot self-park. If you're an owner, you can self-park. You would just raise your fob, the guard gate would open, then you would go to the parking garage again, fob again, and then go inside. But if you're a guest, you have to go to the valet. So again, the valet is asking you, hi, where are you going? So one, that's your second stop. Then once you get into the building, there is a front desk there, oftentimes 2 people, most of the time one to 2 people depending. And they're also asking you where you're going. There's security cameras everywhere. You have to fob to get into the different facilities and the amenities. And then you have to fob again at the elevator. So the great thing about this tower is there's so many stopping points that many people who are really into security prefer this building because there are so many stopping points that would stop someone who isn't supposed to be in the building. If we haven't met yet, my name is Courtney Bentley and I'm a luxury real estate agent here in Las Vegas. I offer concierge service to take the headache out of moving to my favorite city, Las Vegas. If you're watching this and you're enjoying this video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. While every building and every community has its pros, and I could talk all day about the pros, there's always challenges when it comes to different neighborhoods and high rises. So let me share some challenges with you when it comes to living in Panorama Towers. Challenge number 1, premium pricing. When people are starting to do their research and deciding if they want high-rise living or single-family residential living, the question always comes to me, why is high-rise living so much more expensive? The price per square foot is so much higher, sometimes even double. It is pretty crazy. But the truth is this, these high-rise buildings, you're not just buying the 4 walls, you're buying a piece of that building. You're buying the amenities. Your HOA is going for the insurance of that building. It's going for the person manning the front desk and the guard gate. All of that has to be paid for by somebody. So that's part of it as well. The other thing is these buildings are made a lot differently than housing. So premium pricing is gonna come when it comes to purchasing a high rise. And I've seen that across the board in any city. For Panorama Towers, the average, it depends. It's always so hard to do averages because strip facing is gonna command a higher price point versus mountain facing. And the other thing to note too is if someone has put their thumbprint on the unit or they've kept it builder grade, it's all kind of like up in the air, but averages we're seeing is about $560,000 for a unit in Panorama Towers. Also something to note is the price per square foot on average is about $560. You can get a home with a pool for around $350, $400 a square foot in the newer range. So that just kind of gives you a little bit of a comparison. Another thing to note is with this premium pricing and the HOA fees, they do tend to take a little bit longer to sell. When you're in a condo, it's not as big of a pool of people looking to purchase in the high rises, especially here in Las Vegas. Now I think in places like New York and Miami, that's a whole different avenue. But here in Las Vegas, that's kind of the scope of real estate. So that's definitely a challenge if you're considering moving into a high rise. Challenge number 2, noise and activity. The number 1 complaint I hear from my clients who live in high rise buildings on the Strip is all the traffic, ambulance noise, fire, people coming. I mean, it's just like insane, especially with all the sporting events and all the concerts and all the fights and just all the things happening in our city, which is so exciting. But with that comes a lot of traffic, comes a lot of traffic congestion, a lot of construction, comes a lot of ambulances and fire trucks, police. I mean, it's just part of the program when you're looking at a major city that's just put into this little tiny area, if you look at like compared to a map. So that is one thing with high-rise living is you are gonna have that type of noise. Now, if you're used to that, you won't even notice it. I've had clients from New York and in San Francisco, and they're like, wow, the noise is like so much less compared to where I'm from and where I lived before. But it is something to note if you're someone who's used to living somewhere that's completely peaceful and quiet, you're definitely not getting that in a high-rise on the Las Vegas Strip. Challenge number 3, limited outdoor space. This may be a huge bonus for some of you watching. A lot of people tell me, Courtney, I am tired of taking care of my pool, my landscaping. I don't want to deal with any of it anymore. I just want to get up in the morning, and if I want to go swimming, the pool's already clean, the pool's already taken care of. High-rise living could be perfect for you. You don't have to maintain anything. You pay your HOA bill, and that's part of your dues. They're taking care of the landscaping and the pool and the spa and the gym and all that stuff. Now, if you're used to having a huge yard and you don't want to give that up, then high-rise living may not be for you. Well, there are some buildings where you have ground floor units with a little tiny yard. The majority of the units for sale or available or could be available will not have a yard. So if you are someone who doesn't care about that, you don't want the maintenance anyways, having a balcony like you can have at Panorama Towers may be just enough space for you. True or false? Panorama Towers was meant to have 4 towers. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Challenge number 4, HOA rules and fees. The number 1 question I get about living in a high-rise is, why are the fees so high? The HOA dues are just ridiculous, Courtney. I don't understand. Well, here's what you need to understand. These buildings cost a lot to maintain, and they pass this down to the homeowner. They're not gonna, be defaulted, right? So many of these buildings have these huge furnaces. They have, the building, the windows, they have the big pools, they have the big spas and the gym equipment. All these things take money to maintain. Just like you would have if you had a home with a gym and ice makers and pools and landscaping, all that has bills that you're paying every single month. And oftentimes I find my clients start adding up those bills, the gym membership, the spa day pass, the landscape, the pool, the termite guy, the security system that you're paying for every single month. They start adding it all up and they realize that these fees aren't as high as you really think. And the number 1 thing you need to ask when you're looking at high rises is, what does this fee include? The other thing you want to ask is, when's the last time this fee was raised? And the third question you want to ask is, are there any special assessments? These 3 questions are really important when you're doing your due diligence on a building, because you don't want to find out later that there's going to be a special assessment. Now, again, HOA fees, those are going to be a challenge for those of you who are not used to spending that kind of money every month, especially if you own your unit outright. But knowing that all these things are taken care of, there's insurance policies on the building, the staff that takes care of the building is being paid and employed by the building, all these things add up, cost some money. It may be worth it to you if you just want to have that lock and leave lifestyle. You don't want to be worried about maintaining things or worried about, dealing with all that nonsense. Now, the rules is another thing. There are rules in these buildings, and every building is so different. Every building has different rules, but it is something to note and something that you need to think about and you need to understand before you move forward in purchasing a high-rise unit. Living in a high-rise building has its pros, its cons, its challenges, its difficulties, but overall, I think high-rise living is such a great way to get your taste of Las Vegas. It's a great way to step into the pool of what it could be like to move here, and it's an easy thing if you're looking at a second home here in Las Vegas to have a high-rise unit. Something you could just pop into and pop out, especially in this building in particular with the limo service and being so conveniently located. If you're someone out there who's looking at high-rise living, I have tons of videos about all the different videos, the pros, the cons, even some high-rise tours. So definitely check those out. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. If you're watching this on your TV screen, be sure to scan the QR code so that you never miss a video. If you're watching this and enjoying it, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss a video as well.